Welcome back to Gil's Arena, presented by Underdog Fantasy. Whoa, whoa! It's Thursday, last show of the week. It's a beautiful thing. Check's about to come. With the living legend Gilbert Arenas, we got Brandon Jennings. Okay, I see the shoe game, really flossing, dynamic. Yeah. We got Rashad McCann from Scarface.
Tony Montana.
I'm the bad guy.
And as always, we got to thank Underdog Fantasy for bringing y'all this show. If you want to get down with them, download the app, use promo code GilsArena. They will match your first deposit up to $100. And then you can go do these pick'ems.
There you go.
And get got like we do. What you doing? You won? What happened?
There you go.
Do it anyway.
There you go.
We smoke. Okay. We smoking out here.
Pop smoke.
We're going to have a smoking show today. But for next week, got to remind y'all, we're going live.
Yes.
11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. We know y'all not doing shit. Make sure you plug in with us, pull up. I think the shows have been dropping around like 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern. We're going a little bit earlier to give y'all more time to really enjoy this, dissect it, conversate with each other about it, and all that good stuff.
Pull up on us. Let's go.
So before we talk about what's going on in the league currently, we got to talk about a burgeoning beef between two former players. And no, Gil, not that beef.
Oh, I was about to say, God damn.
It's a new one.
Yeah, damn.
So Isaiah Thomas has been going at Charles Oakley over some comments that Zeke made about MJ and some comments that Oakley made about Zeke. So in an old All the Smoke interview, Oakley had this to say about why Zeke don't mess with MJ. Oakley said he came in your city and took your city. That's why you're really mad. He took over Chicago. Now I'd imagine Zeke is a little madder that Jordan left him off the dream team than the city takeover thing.
I'm pretty sure.
But he responded with some Twitter fingers. I remember us kicking your ass a lot. Someone please check my record versus any team he played on. Sit down, be humble. The internet did what it did. They checked the record. Zeke is 19-18 versus Oakley all time. I wouldn't really call it an ass kicking. It was more 50-50. But then he followed that up today, and he said, for the record, I'm not beefing or hating on anyone. I'm correcting and teaching factual documented history, not mythology. So Gil, I'll start with you first. I got to know, why are old NBA players so salty?
I'm old. Okay,
We're all
like
old.
I said, I'm old too. So it's like, at the end of the day, listen, I think sometimes we forget history and, you know, I guess sometimes we do think we're better than what we were. Okay. Like Detroit, you know, they have this standard of who they think they were, right? Like, you guys wasn't a dynasty, all right?
2 championships, though.
Okay, cool.
Close. But not dynasty.
Close. Like, you know, so it's like you didn't compete against Larry Bird and Magic. You didn't, right? They ran the 80s, right? You had a 2-year window, which let me remind people, you had an advantage over everybody in those 2 years. See, no one knows Detroit Pistons were the first team to have their own private plane. So the 2 years that they actually won, so the year they got a private plane, that summer, they won the championship. So what ends up happening is they have way more rest than everybody else because everybody else is on commercial, right? You got these big old guys sitting on commercial fighting for aisle seats.
So even like the Lakers and all?
No, Lakers, no one, no. Pistons was the first team to have their own plane. They had it for the 2 years, and then everybody else caught up, and then that's when Michael Jordan came to town. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's little things there that helped them, right? And, you know, when you say you kicked Michael Jordan's ass and all this, yeah, that was a young Michael. That was a Michael who was trying to get his feet wet. Once he came into his own and 90, 91, you was no longer existing. Your teams was not there. You won 2 years with an advantage, right? So, you know, I don't know why we sit here and brag like, you know, you guys are like, if you guys are the Lakers or, you know, Boston, I understand it, but you guys had a 2-blimp window at the end of the 80s, and then the 90s is Michael Jordan, so.
I don't think it's more so about the Pistons than it is about Zeke and Mike. Like Zeke, he not tripping on the legacy of the Pistons, and Charles ain't talking about, you know, what they did between each other. It's more Mike versus Isaiah, and I'm rolling with Zeke. I got to roll with Zeke.
What did you do against Michael?
It ain't about what he did. It's just the history between the two. And if you hear the history when Isaiah break it down about what he did for Mike, when he got to Chicago, how it all transpired, how he introduced him to the community, made him feel safe and all these other things, he felt like the league coddled Mike, changed rules for him, and he felt like he was better than Mike. If you listen to Isaiah talk, he's like, man, listen, fuck Mike.
And Mike fucked him.
So the energy between the two is warranted because it's competitive. It's like, look, Zeke, like, I was the only guy that didn't stand down to Mike, and I beat his ass for 2 years.
Yeah, but that's unrealistic.
But
you
it
beat
happened.
a guy, you beat a young guy. That's like
But it
when
happened,
Kareem.
Gil.
But that's what I'm saying. When Kareem was beating a young Shaq, like you're beating someone who's not developed and you want to brag about it. You are at the top of your class. This guy is at the bottom and you want to brag about it. What happened when he got to the same class? You no longer existed.
He got hurt. It was a season-ending injury, and he keeps talking about that. He's like, if I don't break my wrist, Mike may not win another championship.
How about the following year?
We
Your wrist
don't
was
know.
fine.
We
The
don't
following year, your wrist was fine,
But-
wiped out.
No,
the next year
he was done.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah,
You
it
crazy.
was a
Season.
career-ending injury.
No.
That's what he says. So
That's what I'm saying. You listen to what he says, not record. 91, he got hurt, Mike won. He was back the next year, lost. Back the next year, lost.
yeah, you know the teams changed.
Lost.
after that. You know
No,
the
they
teams
didn't change.
changed.
No, they didn't.
The teams
No, they
changed.
did
The
not.
Pistons, that was the expansion era.
Yeah, the
ended up
Pistons
losing
changed
Rick Mahorn. They
completely,
lost
bro.
some players.
They
Lost some old ass players that was in year 13, 14.
Look,
Come on,
the
man.
bad boys.
But who
got
got better?
bad.
Who got better? The Bulls got better. The Bulls got
Yes.
better. The Pistons did not. But look, we still
Pistons was number 2,
We still
lost.
talk-
Pistons was number 3, lost. Pistons was number 3, lost.
But we still talking about not the teams, but the players. So Zeke is only still salty about the situation between his ultimate arch nemesis, Michael Jordan. Like, he feels like he was better than Mike. And he not gonna allow nobody else to say anything different based on how he feel about his ability. Like, I took my team to this level and we beat him twice and we made them change the rules so we was beating his ass up. And now, you know, Mike can be Air Jordan because they changed the rules. We can't foul him no more. We can't do this. He continually talks about the shit all the time.
Brandon, I got a Brandon question for you.
Yeah.
I want you to pretend like you're Isaiah Thomas.
Okay.
You won 2 championships, 92 Olympics.
Yeah.
We got pro players here. Your head coach is the head coach of the Olympic team. Michael Jordan comes in and says, you can't be on the squad. If he on the squad, I'm not playing. How long would that saltiness or bitterness at MJ last?
Oh, that's forever for the rest of my life.
That's beef. It's eternal beef.
Talk about it, B.
It's for the rest of my life, just off the fact that I think that was the first team to go, right? So that was like that
was the who's of who's.
Yeah, that's the who's of who's. So to not be in those practices and not get that experience, I mean, I would be salty too for.
Like, imagine every time you on NBA TV, the Dream Team doc comes on.
But I think, but go back to your point when you said why are NBA guys so salty. I just think anybody that's like, when you're at the top and you want it and somebody's talking about you that you're better than or that you know, it's kind of like, you know, you're going to get a little defensive. It's like, who is this guy? Like, who is this guy talking to? Like, this guy's a puppet or
It's
something.
just, like I said, it's all delusion. Like, it's all delusion. You really have to put perspective on it. Like, were you guys stopping Michael Jordan? Stopping him? No. Were you hurting him? Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you were hurting him. Like, there was no problem in the 80s, right? From 80 to 88. There was no problem. 37, 33, like he's whooping everyone's ass. Like, let's not forget where Nike came from. It came from one man, right?
Yeah.
He was the king. He was running through the league, and you guys were physically hurting him, not defense, clothesline, pushing him out of the air. It wasn't actual basketball. When David Stern says, hey, you can't clothesline a player, we're gonna call that a flagrant 1 and a flagrant 2. You guys forgot how to play fucking basketball now? How the fuck do you forget how to basketball? It's not like we said you can't handshake, you can't foul him.
Yeah.
Hey, clotheslining is a flagrant. punching a man in the mouth is a flagrant 2. Oh, shit, he done changed the rules for him. I can't clothesline no more. I can't hurt the man. I can't guard no more. That is exactly what we're saying. We're not saying that they changed, like took hand checking off. You can't. We're saying, hey, clotheslining is a flagrant 2. Okay?
Yeah.
Kicking the man in the face, we don't think that should be allowed in the game. And you sitting there like, I don't know. It's these new rules. These new rules is bad for us.
It's tough love, Gil. I consider it tough love. It's tough love. To me, I look at it like back then, they made Michael Jordan adjust his game to be a tougher player after the rules changed. Mike can say right now, if you look at Mike's interview, he said, man, these young guys have no idea what I had to go through to get to the level that I'm at, right?
Yeah.
Contribute that to the Pistons beating his ass, like we talked about yesterday. I'm going to beat your ass. So you come back in here and you know I beat your ass. Now, in order for you not to get your ass beat no more, you got to get your ass in the weight room. You got to get stronger, more durable. Now when I go in there and they try to clothesline me, it ain't taking me out. Now I'm going into my flip. That's going in. And one, Mike had become more durable and he become more hard when it came to just like being a gritty player because now he'd been through the trenches. Nobody else, he couldn't, there was nothing else he could expect from any other team out there after he got past the Pistons.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. We're not talking about, he came in 84, right?
Yeah. 84.
So we're not talking about it started in 84.
Right.
Right? This wasn't something that was, the Pistons was doing this in 84, 85, 86. When he was becoming who he was, they feared that.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, this is like Shaq bragging about, like, y'all couldn't score on him, and then everything we see, he's just clotheslining the shit out of everybody, right? That, like, you're physically more empowering. So, yes, after the 2 losses, they lift weights, they got bigger and stronger, and the rules changed. But we're not saying the rules changed in a point where it affected them defensively.
Right.
It's just saying, hey, you're going to be penalized. You got to remember back then, they didn't. A punch was just a fucking fine.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a fine. So he said, hey, you can't do that no more or you're going to be kicked out of the game. And they're making it seem like, oh, you just changed the rule, the total. It's not like they put a zone in and little shit like that. They just say you can't.
I understand what you're saying, too, because it's like before they won those 2 championships, like you said, there was no way to neutralize Jordan. Like, they started playing like that to stop him specifically. And then when they found themselves being successful for 2 years, they're like, this is how we got to play his ass. They're like, nuh-uh, you can't keep doing this.
You can't do that.
You can't keep doing this to him. So now, like you said, what was it, 90, 91?
80, so them was
80, 89, 90.
89, 90.
Yeah, 91, 92, 93 was their three-peat, right?
Yeah, Jordan was in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
That was the funniest thing when they talk about us now. So, yeah, we can guard y'all. Jordan went into the weight room and they got big and was 210. Like, yeah, we spent all summer looking at it. 210. Like, man, that's weird. It's a weird flex.
Hey, you know what? To go back to that point where we said, would I be mad? I would be mad, but does Mike have the right to be mad too because they didn't shake his hands like after they lost?
But what does that have to do with it?
It was the
90s. Because Mike felt like, well, when y'all whooped our ass, we always shook your hand. Like I always showed you the
not
respect.
the same.
Nah, that's
We're not the same.
But it all plays a part. Like, we took our ass whooping like men. Y'all made us better, right? Right? You made us better.
Yeah.
We lifted weights. We shook your hands. Yeah. We went into the summer. We worked out. We did this. Yeah. We beat you guys. Yeah. Now y'all want to act like little girls.
But we still have a character to uphold.
You shook everybody else's hand.
Nah, but we have a character amongst you. Because remember, we changed our philosophy to stop you. So we can't change our character because you beat us. We still want you to know we don't fuck with you like that.
Okay, did you do that to everybody in the league?
No, because everybody else in the league wasn't fucking us up like you was. You was fucking us up.
They couldn't get past Boston.
They couldn't get past Boston and
Lakers. Mike was Mike. We're not talking about like.
But that's one player.
Yeah, one player.
But that's what I'm saying. But
they shook everybody else's hand. Mike didn't get his hand. Mike was mad they didn't shake his hand. It wasn't about the rest of the Bulls.
He took
everybody else got high five.
So that's what I'm saying. So you're taking it personal on me because I finally.
I think they walked off with a couple.
Yeah, they walked off.
Yeah, they just walked off.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's the arrogance of them. Like, yo, you want credit for beating us, and you want credit for us becoming better men and better players. But you can't say, good shit. See y'all next year.
So are we going to
That's whole shit.
Are we going to do sportsmanship when we talk about running the score up, right? And niggas get mad because you up 20 and you go get that extra layup, and we talk about it like, hey, if you trying to score on me down here, I'm going to try to score on you down here. It's the same logic.
Yeah, the same goofy shit.
It's goofy.
Right? It's goofy.
But
I can try to score on you.
It's sportsmanship, right?
I try to score on you, and then you try to score. I'm mad at you. Yeah. Right? I beat your ass for 2 years, and then you beat me. I'm mad at you.
I'm not mad. No, I'm not mad. I'm just not going to shake your hand.
Yeah.
I'm trying to beat your ass next year. I'm not trying to leave this gym being like, yeah, you better. You're a better guy than me. Nah, fuck them.
We did it.
Nah, fuck them.
We did it.
You got
but
it.
what did you?
But that's what I'm saying.
We did it.
Handshake, though. You
But
can't
we
get,
did
like,
it too. But that's what I'm
you
saying.
can't. All right, bro. You got me.
Not when I don't fuck like
we
when
did
you're
it
my
to
arch
you.
nemesis. I don't want to shake your hand.
But we did it to you. We shook your hand. You shook your hand when you won.
But
Yeah, we won. We beat you. Get the fuck on out of here. Now when we win, you're like, oh, nah, we don't.
no dream team over a handshake, and you got Christian Laettner on the team.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
But what I'm saying is this handshake. This was in front of the world. Like everybody saw that. Like you just walked. Like no, watch out.
Listen.
Like,
it made them look bad.
it
made them look bad.
But it wasn't that bad that
Yes, it
you
was.
would fuck up my whole legacy of my career.
Yes.
Because my not shaking your hand didn't fuck up your legacy.
Yeah, but maybe Mike looked up to Zeke at one point or something.
It don't matter. It don't matter if looking up. It's called. Do we not respect each other's, and we do not respect each other's work ethic or craft?
Nah.
And that's why.
Nah.
So basically, so that's exactly what he gets.
Nah.
I don't respect your craft anymore. You don't belong on this USA team.
So
You're not classy enough to be here. And
so
that's what
Zeke is in his feelings because he has a reason to.
Yeah. And Jordan had a reason to do what he did. This is about the USA. This is about people who respect this game. And Zeke, I'm sorry, you didn't.
But he did. It's just I didn't respect you and your team. I respect USA. I respect the Olympics.
America. Yeah.
I respect. What does Michael Jordan? You don't control this damn team, my
Well,
nigga.
obviously-
Just because you don't want.
Obviously he did.
Obviously
he did.
But Zeke is thinking like, man, I don't gotta bow down to Michael Jordan to get on the Olympic team. Why would I have to do that?
Yeah, but
why would I have to shake his hand to get on a team that he ain't? You don't control this team, bro.
Yeah.
And
that's why Petty comes in.
I mean, you heard what Magic and Bird said. It's a new sheriff in town.
And who was the coach of the Olympic team was his coach. So
that's
it
what
had more to do
I
with.
pick your coach, not you.
Yeah. it had to do with Mike's power.
I
more
blame
than it
Chuck
did
Daly.
anything
I pick
else.
your coach, but not you.
Yeah.
That's a flex.
That's
nasty.
gangster.
That's a flex.
That probably hurt.
That's
more.
The guy
Now
who's
you're my
saying,
enemy.
the guy who's saying,
That's gangster.
hey, we gonna fuck Jordan up. He said, I respect this man. You watch it from the TV.
That's tough.
That hurts.
I'm rolling with Zeke, man. I love that whole rivalry. I love all the grittiness behind it, even to both sides. Like, I love Mike's perspective, the whole not shaking hands and some whole shit. Then, Zeke, hey, Mike did some whole shit to you. Y'all both did some whole shit.
It's 31 years
What was
later.
the whole
though.
shit Mike did?
Huh? Mike went on.
Getting better? And
No, the whole shit was Mike saying, I'm not playing on this team if he on the team. That's whole shit.
Who started it?
It don't matter. It's still,
does.
I said both. I said both.
No.
I said Zeke did the whole shit. I didn't shake your hand. Mike did some whole shit. Hey man, I'm not gonna play.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my ball and I'm gonna go home.
Yeah, why should I reward you?
But that's whole shit. And you know that's whole shit.
It's after the fact.
But it's
But I
whole
never
shit.
started it though.
I never-
Mike
yeah,
never,
It don't
I never
matter
started
about
it.
starting
No,
it.
yes,
But I
it
never
does.
We're
started
talking
it.
about the principle of what whole shit is. It's whole shit for you to go to the owner and be like, hey, listen, man, I don't like him. And if he on the team, I ain't playing. Well, wait. What do we got to do? Get him off the fucking team.
Yes.
I mean, the same thing happens today. I mean, it's like being petty. If you're going to be petty, all right, well, I'm going to be
petty
petty.
back.
But
If
what's
you
the
get
petty?
What I'm
it's
saying
the
is you
same
can't
thing.
be petty and then I return it and then you cry about it
Yeah.
for fucking 40 years.
No. This is where it gets. This is where
40 years.
This is why it gets bad because Zeke never knew why he wasn't on the team.
40
And
years.
it came out in the last dance that Mike said, I ain't had nothing to do with Zeke not being on the team. Then they found the audio. They found the audio of Jordan talking to Chuck, saying, hey, listen, Chuck, I ain't playing on that goddamn team with Zeke on there. Well, wait, Mike.
So you don't think Chuck told Zeke why he wasn't on that?
Zeke
motherfucking
said, I never knew why I was
So-
not on that team
I doubt
until
it.
I watched
doubt
So
that.
you
I
the
doubt
coach,
that.
right?
I doubt that.
You the coach. You the
That's what he
coach.
said.
You Chuck
And
Daly?
he told your head coach. You don't think they had to talk about that?
No, he couldn't. He couldn't. Chuck can't go tell Isaiah. Isaiah's from Chicago. He's on some different shit, bro.
I'm sure Chuck was like MJ over there
Chuck
hating
had
dog,
to.
but I still got to get my bag. So
MJ mad you didn't shake his motherfucking hand after he beat you, man.
the moral of the story is always dap up. But let's keep this thing
Respect
moving.
the game.
You got to
Respect
dap.
the
You always
game.
got to get the dap going. But we got to talk about current times. Battle of LA. We had the final installment last night. Lakers won the end of a 5-game road trip on a back-to-back after beating the Jazz in Salt Lake City. We know that air is musty. It was the Clippers' first game since Saturday, and they looked fresh and clean, smacking the Lakers. They only won by 7, but I was at the game. It was really never in doubt. Kawhi played the entire second half, and this was the first time since Game 7 of the 2013 NBA Finals that he did that. Clippers have now beat the Lakers 11 straight times dating back to 2020. LeBron has played in 8 of those games, which is the most consecutive losses in his career to one team, regular season or playoffs. So we're going, Norman Powell did his thing too, UCLA, bro, and you already know. Kawhi with the nice braid still. The last braid scout still holding it.
The last braid scout.
So Gil, I'll start with you. Obviously, you're a Lakers guy.
So are you.
I'm a LeBron guy, but at Lakers by extension.
Wow.
I'm a Laker guy.
Wherever LeBron goes, I made that very clear.
All right.
Okay. But rocking now. Humble servant, why he's here. Do the Clippers run LA? That's what 11 in a row.
11, listen.
He do not
So
wanna
it's
hear that.
11 in a row, right? Which means, 4 this year, right?
Since 2020.
4 last year, and then 3. Well, in those 3 years, don't Lakers got a championship? That's all that matters, right? That hardware. So in that 11 game span, Lakers got a championship. So I don't know what they're running besides they mouth.
Clippers got nice billboards though.
Listen, they're
spicy.
Listen,
Give no quarter.
they cute.
It just
cute.
will never be.
And no. I mean, obviously Lakers have 17 championships. Clippers have 0.
It just
100 years from now, the Clippers get 18 and the Lakers still have 17. Still Lakers town always.
Yeah.
Wait, Clippers got 7.
I said 100 years from now, if they ended up winning 18
We
championships.
wouldn't even know. I'd be dead.
Exactly. We wouldn't see it. But
It's a big discrepancy. And, Gil points it out all the time. They the Clippers. They the Clippers. And just to hear that 17-0, that's big. But then again, when has the Clippers really had players like the Lakers?
it's only been since recent times.
As I said, they have the stench, right? They have the stench. It's like a porn star trying to be regular, right? And you just can't get it out. Just
That's a great analogy.
you know what I mean? We know who you are. We know who you are. We know you're trying to be better, but we can still Google your past. And that's
We see you.
And that's the thing with the Clippers. It's like y'all are just y'all franchise is really 4 or 5 years old.
yeah.
It's
The
only 4 or
post-Sterling
5
era.
years old. You're really an expansion team, to be honest.
Real talk.
Like this model of paying people and trying to build winning. That's only 4 or 5 years old. Other than that, you've been whoring.
That's facts.
Yeah.
You've been.
They're good now, girl.
That's what I said. But we get.
That's like being a Yankee fan and then you go to the Mets game.
Yeah.
It's
That's real.
It's like the juniors. It's like
They got about.
it don't matter.
They just built a facility when Blake Griffin. They got their own practice facility when
facility.
Blake Griffin
Yeah.
got here. Like,
Yeah.
come on, y'all.
Now they're gonna have their own arena.
So it's hard to compare. Like, for regular season awards, yeah. Against the Lakers, okay, they can say, hey, we beat our rival a few times, but for the overall look at the NBA, no one.
So how many championships would the Clippers need to win to get some respect
From who?
from this city? Would one do it?
1.
2?
It's 1.
One?
At least 3.
How?
You got at least win like.
How many years
I
has it
mean, to
been?
become a winning culture.
They've
right?
been around.
Like you need.
There's been several incarnations.
Listen,
like Buffalo.
Are you
Braves.
trying to turn it into a winning culture, or we just
I mean,
saying
right,
respect?
well,
We just saying
well,
respect.
Well, from the Lakers fans, you would never get respect.
No,
from
no,
them.
yeah.
Okay, but
For the city.
Clipper fans are delusional, though. Like, if you are a true Clipper fan, you are a nut job. Marcellus Wiley, Clipper Darrell, they're nuts, bro.
Billy Crystal?
Right, they're all nut jobs. When you hear them, Clippers can lose right now, tomorrow, all of them will be on there talking about 2024 Clippers chip, right? Like, Clippers chip 2024. They ride. It really don't matter. Like 11 in a row, that's a championship for them.
Real talk.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Right? So if they win a championship, oh, you might as well just check the fuck out of LA, man. Because to them, that's it.
That's why I said one.
Okay.
One for them, that's it for them.
One for them. The city, they
city-
feel like the city respects them. It ain't that the city will respect them. They feel that. Like you said, the
Man, that
delusion
shit
of
gonna
it.
stay right in Inglewood where
Yeah.
the new arena's at.
Right.
It ain't coming back downtown.
Yeah, you know what? At the end
It
of the day,
ain't. It's gonna stay right. It's gonna stay on that side of town. It's gonna hit towards Orange County.
you don't want Clippers. Oh, you don't want a Clipper to champ. Oh my God, you know how horrible that'd be.
Yeah.
That'd be horrible, man.
You got to talk about how horrible it'll be, though, Gil. You can't just outline it like it's gonna be. You from here?
Do you know the parade?
Man, the American flag colors.
The American, unclassy,
unclassy?
unclassy. The city of gangbangers to be united, the Crimson Bloods
holding
having
hands,
fun and
holding
joy. Oh
hands.
my God, shit.
So let's
Maybe
take
riots
a
again.
That might be. They'll riot. That's the type of.
Every day LA riots again.
We all
Yeah,
classy,
right.
got wine, cigars smoking.
Let's take a look at
Underground
the
dancers
Western
out there.
Conference standings. Let's pull those up. We talked about this on the show yesterday. So the Clippers won the game.
Yes, sir.
Great for them.
Uh-huh.
But they jumped up to that 5th seed.
Yep.
And look who's looming at number 4. So
They won but lost.
is that really a win? That's what I'm going to ask you. Is that really a win?
No.
So they should have threw that joint.
Can't throw it if the other team is throwing it.
I wasn't gonna say that.
You
Somebody
can't throw
gotta
it when the
win.
other team is throwing it.
Somebody got
0-0.
Oh man, that is hilarious.
So yeah, they won that, but now they're squarely in that 5th spot. There's 2 games left, I believe, so a bunch of shenanigans is going to take place. I thought that the Clippers and Warriors were going to collude to get the Lakers in that spot as one last fuck you for the season. But LeBron said no. I'm going to drop this 33, but we're going to have this L. But let's talk about Russell Westbrook. I know, Gil, one of your favorite players. So just be real, Westbrook's tenure with the Lakers was sad. They was calling him Westbrook, booing when he shot. I mean, I was at the game last night. It was technically a Clippers home game. They were booing with.
I told you.
But it was Lakers fans. It was like probably 60% Lakers fans.
It was Lakers
But
fans.
just for me, it was like, damn, literally a Clippers home game. Westbrook still can't escape those boos, and this is supposed to be the team that's rocking with you now.
Yep.
But, Lakers locker room called him a vampire. We all saw that clip with him and LeBron when he's like, let's just have fun. Lakers fans have had a lot of fun using that clip. But Westbrook now on the Clippers seems like it's completely different. Team has rallied behind him. After the game last night, Bones Highland said that they really ramped up in practice because they wanted to get this dub for Westbrook. So, Gil, I'll start with you first. What's the difference between Lakers Westbrook and Clippers Westbrook?
Just team backing. I mean, this is the best. I mean, his numbers on the Lakers is actually better, right? Overall, his numbers are better with the Lakers, right? He has a higher percentage. Actually, this is the highest percentage he's shot in his career, 48% from the field, which is, he hasn't done that in his career yet. But when it comes to just his overall play, he's played better with the Lakers than the Clippers, but the Clippers are actually embracing him versus trying to throw him under the bus, pretending that he's the reason. That's the only thing that's the difference.
Well, I feel like it's easier. Like the pressure. Like you're playing for the Clippers, so it's I mean, I'm just saying, but the pressure isn't like what putting on the Laker uniform where Lakers they expect you to be the player that you were and come in here and win rings, and when that doesn't happen, it's kind of just like, all right. But the Clippers, I mean, it's easier. Like the lights are more brighter in there. Like the Lakers is like it's a little bit. It's just tougher being from LA playing for the Lakers. So the Clippers kind of like, all right, well, you know.
And you look at the pressure, like you said, the pressure is off him, so he can have fun now.
Yeah.
Right? So you see him play. When he was bricking and shit with the Lakers, you could tell that shit wasn't fun. Like, sometimes you miss a shot, miss 2, miss 3. You could still keep that fun feeling, you know what I'm saying? Because you know you got a couple more shots to shoot. But Russ now, it's like, he looks energetic. He looks like he can look back at the bench and everybody like, nah, man, keep shooting that shit. Keep going, because that's the motor he needs to keep his balance between thinking too much and then going out there and just hooping. Like, he's always been, let me hoop, man. Just let me hoop. Now that he hooping, he look like, you know what I'm saying, he can take him somewhere.
But imagine on the Lakers, when he's getting ready to shoot and you got the crowd screaming, no!
Yeah, but that's what fucks with you.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Right? It's
The Clippers ain't tripping?
like I said, he's like he's doing the same exact thing, shooting 40%. That changes because of starting and benching.
Yep.
People don't understand that. If I warm up before the game, and then after that warm up, I'm in the game, right? I'm hot.
Yeah.
I'm warm.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Versus now I'm coming off the bench for the first time, sitting, 6-7 minutes. Now, those shots I would have took, now I'm reluctant because now I want to get up and down a few times.
Yes.
But now if I'm open, I got to take them because I'm used to taking them. Now those are more likely fucking bricks.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That changes the dynamic of play. Right? Like a bench player who's came off the bench for years, they have a mentality already, right? Like, all right, I got to get warmed. Like, you already know I'm about to come in at the 6-minute mark. So at the 4-minute mark, you already give me a heat pack.
Yep.
Put the heat pack on the heater, right? You got a little. You start doing your routine. Well, if you've never been on the bench before, and you get benched, and he's like, all right, Gil, get in. Oh, right now?
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. All right. And then now I get in, and now my shot is open. Like, God damn, fucking hands frozen
Hands are
still.
cold as hell,
Yeah,
right?
you know what I mean? So there's more to it than people think, right? It's really more to it. Like, as a player who's seen what putting a starter on a bench does, I asked my coach, I said, if you start Reeves or bring him off the bench, mentally, if he doesn't get affected and he's going to give you the same output, why would you start him when you know him going on the bench fucks his game up?
Yep.
It fucks his game up. Mentally, him coming off the bench, you lose him as a player. But if you don't gain or lose anything with Reeves, then it's the obvious choice, because what ends up happening is your team becomes weaker if you start Reeves and then you bench Westbrook, because mentally Westbrook is not ready for it. So him coming in, his production's fucked up anyway. So you actually lose the whole player.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that happened, with us with Brendan Haywood. Right? Eton, no matter if Eton started or not started, he was going to play how he played.
Right.
Brendan, being a starter, coming off the bench now to someone he thinks is less than him, he's mentally fucked up.
Yep.
Right? So now we just lost our center.
Man,
Right? And people don't really understand that.
it's confidence.
Yeah.
It's all confidence. So you look at that analysis you just gave with Austin. You look at the same thing with Jordan, Poole, right? And these are guys that you can say, look at their numbers when they start, look at their numbers when they're coming off the bench. Look at Russ the same way. You're like, all right, look at the numbers when he's coming off the bench. Look at his numbers when he's starting. It's all confidence, especially when you build up a routine of knowing that you're going to start. Like B said earlier in a couple episodes, I like to hear my name from the PA system in the starting lineup. That's a whole confidence thing that we grew up on. From North Carolina, that's 6'6". Like when you hear that, ooh, then you get the 1, 2, 3 team.
Y'all out there do your little whatever.
Yeah, you get to do your thing, right? So that's all confidence. So think about confidence that Austin Reeves has in the starting lineup playing for the fucking Los Angeles Lakers. Opposed to being the guy coming off the bench.
But his numbers don't change.
Of course not, but the confidence does.
What I'm saying, his confidence is the same.
Right. So you look at Russ. his confidence gonna change because he's not used to this routine coming off the bench.
He's used to coming that motherfucker.
Boom.
Hey, he's used to his dancing. Like, you done fucked all that up.
Fucked it all up.
He didn't even dance with the Lakers.
No.
Like that's what I'm saying. You took away his whole swag.
Yes. And B, you talked about that
In Milwaukee.
When they take away your swag,
taking away
you on eggshells now. Think about how Russ was like, man, I don't think these niggas really even fuck with me like this. Now he with the Clippers where he come in after a good game. Everybody like, yeah, Russ, they dapping him up. They like, Russ is our guy. Like his energy when he got confidence is contagious. Yeah. And that's the one thing I always loved about Russ is his fire. When he got on the court and he brought that energetic, contagious fire of just let's beat their ass. If you one of them, you love to be around Russ. You like, oh yeah, let's go kill him. Let's go kill him. But then if you muzzling that hostile territory, it's a tough crowd out there, right? And the motherfucker can't bite. He get his muzzle on. Like, take the muzzle off that man, let him go out here and tear their ass up.
Look, so I came off the bench a few times, right? I was an asshole bench player, right? So the first time I was just coming back from injury, right? So I was just coming back, and me and Eddie decided that, I'm gonna bring you in at the 9-minute mark, right? Nobody knows you coming in. So I was warming up in the practice court, right? Getting warm on the practice court, right? Waiting for the time to get there. And then what ends up happening is on a timeout, I just came out in the timeout and then got checked in. Right? So it made it seem like, oh, this is
so you was on some selfish shit.
Yeah. So some selfish shit, yeah. But that was part of the whole thing. The crowd got involved and and then everybody, like, it was like, okay, yeah, he's playing with us. Yeah. But, they knew. Yeah. It was just a media thing and a crowd thing. And then the first time I actually came off the bench was coach thought I was going to be late because it's part of my routine on back-to-back. Right. And me and him had a little thing. I questioned his coaching and the strategy, what we was doing. I'm like, yo, why we still fucking with our lineup when we trying to get ready for the playoffs? Right? And, usually on back-to-back, I come in at 5. So usually I'm at the gym at 3. On back-to-backs, I'm 5. I come at 5. We start walk around, shoot around. And Antonio Daniel goes in for me, and then he gives me the game plan. But this day, I was like, you know what? Let me go on to practice early. So I get there at 4:45, right? So from the locker room, I'm sitting, but I ain't participating because this is not part of my routine.
100%.
Right? So I'm just sitting there, right, watching. Raymond Felton, right? We're playing Charlotte. I'm like, let's just bust our ass yesterday doing this dumb shit. We not even going. All right, ain't gonna fuck us up again, right? Getting ready for the game, right? Nothing's up there, so there's no names, So he's like, someone's like, hey, coach. So we doing lineup. Do we doing lineup that we said before shoot around? Lineup before shoot around. The fuck is that? Right? So, boom, my name, Deshaun Steves, Antonio. Oh, man, I'm not playing this shit, man. I'm going home. Y'all dumb. Right? So they had to convince me to come back, right?
What?
So I'm on hot, right? Like, I ain't even want to warm up, sit on the bench. Hey, man, what the fuck y'all do over here? Huh? This is what y'all do? We just sit here? This shit look goofy, man. This is why I don't pass y'all the ball, man.
This is the energy.
This is what y'all do here. Just sit here, watch real players play like I'm on one. Like I'm hot. Like I'm real hot. I'm just talking shit about this whole environment of here. Just letting it, drinking water and Gatorade. Huh? This is what we doing over here. Getting flags and shit.
Using asshole.
Yeah, I'm just being an asshole because I'm not feeling none of it, right? Like I'm getting benched for what? I wasn't late.
Real talk.
I wasn't late. You just thought I was going to late. You just bitched because we have a problem. So I'm just fucking up this whole vibe. Went out there, got hurt.
Damn.
Yep, that's how I got. That's why.
Damn.
And
went out there a minute and a half into it.
That's a different type of mentality. Like when you see and feel that energy of what we deal with, because I was a bench player. I was over there. I started a couple times, but that routine that we got to go through over there, it's a lonely little routine over there.
Like it just fucked my whole life. Like I'm used to doing my little things, clapping. I All right, this is what we doing.
Heat pack. See what heat pack. We need a heat pack.
This is what y'all doing over here, you sorry motherfucker. Look, I'm just hot, man. I'm just hot. Just fucking with everybody now.
On 10, yeah.
Just look goofy, man. Y'all just look like some goofy ass people over here.
Goofy.
Standing up before we score our first 2 points is goofy shit.
Yeah. So you was a teammate that never stood up when motherfuckers was scoring, and she was like,
In the
"What y'all
game?
standing up for?"
When?
When the other team, when your team scored.
No, I'm sitting down resting because I just got subbed out. I need to rest for the next minute and a half, and then I'm going back in. What you talking about, brother? That's 42 minutes, 43 minutes, man. I ain't got time to sit on that
I'm
bench,
not getting
man.
up for nothing.
Hey, I got to get my water, you know, get a towel, look at the plays, like what happened, you know, and then I'm back in the game. I ain't got time to be sitting there vacationing. Yeah, what is that? You know?
Yeah, good shot.
What the hell is that going on? Oh, shit. All the time I've been on this, we blew a team out. I got to sit and relax. Other than that, I'm just looking for numbers. Hey,
Looking for numbers.
Hey, ball kid, go up there and give old girl my number. I don't know I didn't really know what this routine was.
That was definitely the play. That was definitely the play back then.
Yeah, right?
That was all the play.
Go get that. Go get that.
The one to the left. The one to
To
the left.
the one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's a wild boy.
Hey, you ever did this? This was some real. When a girl walk in, you start looking to see who's looking at her. Like, who girl is that?
Absolutely.
Who girl is that? Okay, nobody on this side.
Yep.
We don't care about that side.
Always.
Always looking.
You looking like, yeah, who
looking? All right. Okay, she
I
free.
used to try to just mask. I'm like, I ain't looking. Don't look. Don't let them know it's yours.
Yeah. Don't let them know it's yours.
Don't let them know it's yours.
Have you ever been in that situation and got rejected by somebody in the stands?
I did.
Does
it
it
was
hurt?
somebody else's work.
And that's fine. And you didn't know.
I didn't.
That's
It's
the most important
embarrassing.
thing.
Yeah, it's like why she ain't give me the number? And it's like, you find out, you see her at the club, and she's like, I know such and such. You're like, oh shit, you his work?
His work.
You his work? Yeah, he got a lot more money than me. And you
Okay,
stay
I was about
over
to say.
there. You stay over there with them.
What if he was lower than you on the totem pole?
Oh, I got to have you.
Okay,
got
just
to
making sure.
I just ran after the cheerleaders.
You got the cheerleaders?
What?
They're not allowed to. They're not allowed to talk to us.
They make $200. $200 for the performance. You really think they actually was caring about the $200?
I don't know.
$200.
I got pushed back.
Nah.
The Miami cheerleaders are different. Them the only ones I wanted.
Come on, shorty to the crib. Got the pool, jacuzzi in the back. What you talking about?
Heated.
We go to Moyes and everything. You look $200 they give for the goddamn Wizards, boy. I even picked the cheerleaders one year.
Man, what?
I was upset. There was one year I was upset. I was like, wait, hold on.
Who are these?
Why do you look like this?
Ooh, Lord.
Are we getting real dancers? Like, nah, man, fuck all that dancing and shit, man. Nobody get drunk. We don't care about the dancing. I said, you think these men in here care if the routine is nice? Nope. No, we want to compete with Miami and Atlanta.
100%.
Right? Miami and Atlanta, that's all. We don't
Miami and Atlanta.
We don't need classy. We need assy
Assy.
around here. So I'm in there picking, like, yeah. Soon as I see routine, out. I don't care. No.
Hey, did you just bust a move?
Look, I got girls in there. Pretty can't spin. Finals. There you go. You know, just shake the pom-poms. That was the best. Hey, that was the best looking group we had that year.
Bitch, you better not bust a move. You out of here.
Hey, they can't. Listen, they probably can't shake their ass, but they look good.
So let's, on that note, keep this thing moving. Let's talk about these Mavs. So Brandon, obviously, you said the Mavs weren't going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're right now tied for 10th with the Thunder, technically 11 seed because they don't own the tiebreaker. But they kept their playing hopes alive thanks to Kyrie putting the team on his back. Kyrie dropped 19 of his 31 points in the fourth quarter in a win over the Kings. Like I mentioned, they're 10th, but OKC owns the tiebreakers. They got 2 games left, at home versus the Bulls.
Ooh, that's tough.
And the season finale versus the Spurs. So are the Mavs going to the play-in or to the playa, which is Spanish for beach?
Ooh. I mean, for the NBA's sake, I would say they are.
Over OKC?
Yeah, I think more excited. Like, you know, you got Luka, Kyrie. I mean, it's better. It's better they're in it to me than OKC. Just because you just never know with those guys. Entertainment. I'm Adam Silver. I'm like.
So if they get that 10 seed, can they do anything? Can they actually make the playoffs? As the AFC, they'd have to win 2 games on the road.
Who would they be playing? They would be
So
playing.
if it started today, because you know this thing is always in flux. So if it started today, hold on, let me get my things right. Yeah, we could put the standings up. If it started today,
Well, let everybody see
and they
who
got it
are.
over the Thunder, they'd be playing the Timberwolves in Minnesota, and then the winner of the Lakers-Pelicans game.
So if they won, if they play Minnesota,
I mean, they could beat
They can
Minnesota.
beat Minnesota.
They could beat Minnesota, and then
and then they play OKC. Then
We,
they
we
play,
would hope the Pelicans for
Wait,
our
then
own
they would play the
interest.
Pelicans?
in New Orleans.
They can beat the Pelicans.
yeah.
I say they choke both of those games and they break that whole little Dallas thing up. It looks good, and you know we optimistic about them, but I think they fuck it up. I think they fuck it up just with the energy that's looming, with the no defense, and you know the Kyrie coming in. Don't know if he's gonna stay or resign. I think it's a lot of energy that's just muddled up. That's gonna fuck up that whole situation. I think they're gonna lose out.
They got two. They got two easy games.
Two easy.
I mean, they got 2 easy games they can win.
They don't play no defense.
They can score, but it's 2 guys on that team that can get 40.
Yeah, but they
apiece.
In the same game.
And it's like all we gotta go do is win 2 more. They can do that.
we watching them lose games. They should win.
So the Thunder have got the Jazz and the Grizzlies. I imagine that Grizzlies game, they're going to have that 2 locked up. They're not really tripping.
Yeah, see, they go.
Jazz, you
And
know,
Jazz, they still fighting.
but they only fight when it's playing against the Lakers. Then everybody want to come back. Colin Sexton missed 20 games, but
Yeah.
he was ready to go for the
Yeah,
Lakers
see, that's
game.
what I said. They're going to win the next 2 games.
So who's a better team, Utah or Dallas?
Dallas.
Dallas is a better team.
In Utah, yeah.
I'm going with Utah. I think they got a better cohesiveness, even though Dallas got better players. But I think
Where's
the way
those
they've been
games? In
playing,
Dallas?
shit, Utah actually played defense out
And they're
there.
both at home. And they're both at home.
Bulls
Yeah.
in Dallas, Spurs in Dallas to end the season.
Yeah.
Oof. So let's talk a little bit about Luka. In regards to him being food on the defensive end, Luka had this to say. I've been playing basketball for 3 straight years. 4 weeks in between it was free. Sometimes it's really hard for me to play really hard on both ends. But obviously, the defensive end, I got to be way better. I had to give a little look in there.
You get canceled, bro.
Get him. Get him.
Bro.
Get him, Miguel. You gonna do it. You gotta do it. You can understand the inflection of what he didn't say it like a real nigga in the hood. He said it like a Slovenian. So
Joe, you gotta say it though. You gotta get it in character. Don't go half on it. You gotta go full
This
Slovenian,
man,
I used to
bro.
do Luka voiceovers back in the day. Some of them performed well, some of them didn't. But I had more of like a Mario type of character with it. So it didn't make any sense. But Slovenia, Italy, they're close. It was
Man, it's wrong, man.
I'm all over the place. But Luka's defensive rating is a career worst this season. So, but a question for you, because we've talked about this before. Is it really Luka's job? Does Luka really need to worry about defense? Is that for the rest of the team to worry about?
Yeah, look. I know what he gonna say.
Hey, listen. How much he average? It don't even matter, right? Right.
You gotta be sweating, man.
I'm not concerned with if he can play defense or not at this point in his career because I don't have the team dynamic defensively, you know, to really match if he took it on by himself. Because there's only like one player in the guard position that actually played enough defense when his team wasn't that good defensively. And that was Tony Allen, right? Other than that, you got to have other players that can really help you stop certain players. So Steph won, and he was tofu on defense,
Yeah.
right? It was,
Got better though. We got to get some.
got
Did
a
he?
lot better. Yeah.
Oh, he did?
Got better.
Yeah, he got a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he won a championship. didn't he?
Yeah, the first time.
But you go back
After
to even
that-
to 2016, I remember the Cavs players specifically saying, even on that last play where Kyrie hit the 3 in his grill, it was like, yo, we were trying to key in on Steph, get him on the island.
But the reason wwhy Steph is hard to key in on is because they had great team defense.
Yeah.
Right? So Luka, he don't got
Nothing.
that.
Nada.
That's the one thing Steph is his safety net is Draymond back there, Clay back there, guys Looney or Bogut, whoever it was, got his back. That, Rip used to tell me that shit too. And I think I would go in there and be like, Rip, I'm gonna cook you tonight. I'm gonna cook you.
He's like, nope.
I'm sending you straight to them big motherfucker back there. Boy, you ain't doing shit tonight.
Yeah, and that's serious. Like people don't realize that. Like he's dead serious. Like you really want to get Rip on the island and take advantage of him, but you got 4 other defenders that's protecting. So there's really no, but that's when I understood the real key of basketball. And the real key was this. I'm going to take advantage of the best defensive player because no one's going to help him.
Boom.
Right? Boom. So I'm going to, if like when we played Cavs, right? Instead of me going against Delonte West or Boobie Gibson or Mo Williams, now I want to switch Bron. All right, let's go. Because no one's going to help Bron. They think Bron, because Bron plays great defense, he don't need protection. Yes. I want to score on the guy who doesn't need protection. See, when you're trying to score on the weakest guy, everyone is prepared to help. Yeah. Becomes harder.
Yes.
No one's prepared to help Klay Thompson. No one's prepared to help Kawhi. No one's prepared to help. Who else is out there? Who's a great defensive player by themselves? Yeah. Patrick Beverley.
Patrick, yeah.
And no one's prepared to help them. So if you straight line them, it takes everybody off, you know.
Yep.
You know, but if I'm sitting there getting ready, trying to take Steph, load up, right? So, you know, you have to be one of those type of players too, try to understand like who you go at, because if they got great team defense, you're not gonna take advantage of the guy anyway.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. This ain't the EuroLeague, so he better learn how to play defense fast. Because if not, then Dallas ain't going nowhere. Like, regardless if Steph didn't know how to play or wasn't a good defensive player, he still got better. Like, he got every year. I feel like he was getting better though with it, and that's what helped the team also with it too. So he has to have the will to want to be able to play defense though.
Yeah, it's
will though, because if
it's
not,
conditioning
then,
too.
Conditioning, the will, and also your team is just always going to be just right there. You're never going to get over the hump until you make the.
So you got to talk about Steph, and just to mention, Steph has improved defensively in years past. This is the lowest defensive rating he had in his career. That's why they probably been so nasty on the road this year. That's neither here nor there. But you talk about Steph and the team being able to hide his kind of defensive flaws, but it seems like you got now Luka and you got Kyrie on that side. So now you need 3 players instead of 4 to hide those defensive inefficiencies.
I'll look at it this way. If you're gonna not play defense, right, and the guy's not actually going at you, you got to be the rover guy. The rover guy is the smartest guy on the floor because he has to take up all the other deficiencies of the players who can't play defense. So if you got 2 good defensive players on the court, everybody else's liabilities, the rover guy makes up for it. It's like the Mike back in football. And when you can roll, it's literally like I have more of a job as a defensive player, as a rover, because I got to be talking on the backside. I got to help. You're leaving one guy open all the time. I had the ability to play defense, but I would rather be the rover because, one, you could take breaks. You could take off because the guy that I'm playing against ain't a threat. I'm guarding Sheffilosa, right? I know he can't shoot, but sometimes you get caught up standing straight up. Sheffilosa go back door, get a little cut, or he hit his 3 that you ain't really close out on because you're like, he with us. These are the little things that make you look bad as a defender, right? Because you're roving. But as Luka, if somebody's going at you and you're not playing no defense, now that's a whole different dynamic of what you just said, that like intensity, like taking the challenge, like I want to guard this guy. Like if you don't got that energy or that mentality, you look worse than a rover guy that's not playing. You just don't care. And we was talking about it earlier about when Luka complains, crying to the refs, and it's 4-on-5 on the backside, and you still down here talking like, man, that was a foul, it was a foul. We giving up a point down here. And now there's no accountability because you're like, but I got fouled.
Yep.
But I got
fouled.
You're doing
it more than once, though. You're doing it more than once in a game.
This is the best thing about basketball, when you complain. I've never seen a referee make a call, right? You complain and y'all walking down. He's like, you know what? You're right. Hey, stop playing. Motherfucker's right. He's right. Let's turn this shit back around. Give him the ball. Never. Right? Like, come on. Wow. Like, look, I understand that it's just part of nature that we do it, but we do have to realize, like, the motherfucker ain't gonna change his. Like, we already moving. They're not gonna just the referee timeout. Like, makes me look stupid as a ref. Just shut the fuck up and keep moving.
And we be on their ass for like.
I just told you I'd get your ass back in the
3 plays straight. We be on their ass like, ref, like we still complaining about the call 3 calls ago, and he's not gonna change that goddamn call.
Yeah, I know, because the motherfucker ain't acknowledged me yet. Like,
he ain't even
he ain't looked my way yet, goddamn it. I know you hear me.
Get the last one.
So y'all talked about Luka being, a crybaby. One person who I think would agree with y'all, Tim Hardaway Sr. Tim made an appearance on the show recently, and he had this to say about Luka.
Wait, say who?
Tim Hardaway Sr.
Senior.
Yes, senior, not junior.
It's the crossover.
He might be fumbling Junior's bag, but
Yeah, where's Junior play at?
with these Dallas Mavericks. So
You might as well
So
go
Senior-
ahead. Go ahead. Tag it up.
this is what Senior said. It's our fault as a league that Luka has become a crybaby. There are a lot of people that are babies now. We made the league that way. So that's what Senior said. Junior heard about it. Junior was quick to get in bag protection mode. He came to Luka and Kyrie's defense. Basically said his pops was tripping. Say he loved pops, but pops tripping.
Okay, smart.
Told me to ask for my roster spot back. I wouldn't
My
have
roster
tripped.
spot back.
But said that Kyrie and Luka both been great leaders in this locker room. He doesn't have any issue with them whatsoever. But I want to ask y'all, and you already alluded to it, is Luka a crybaby? And at some point, he's 23 now. He's still got a lot of maturing to do. But does he need to shake that stigma around him and toughen up?
We're all crybabies in our own way, right? We all think that we don't foul and we're being fouled every single time,
100%.
right? That's just
The nature.
we just think that's the way our brains work. Like every time I drive to the hole, I think I'm being fouled.
Yep.
Every time somebody's driving, I don't give a fuck what I do. I didn't touch him. Right? Like, what I do, Revin? Nigga, you can see the scratches all down his arm and shit. What I do? Like,
Dirt in your
fucking
nails.
blood's coming out.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just one of those things where, you just mature with time. Like Conley, right? Never complained ever.
Never.
Never. Like, whatever the ref goes, he just keeps moving. Like, he's disciplined to understand that it don't matter. Like, I'm not going to change your minds. I'm just going to keep moving. I don't even think he's ever had a technical. I don't think Conley's ever had a tech.
Yeah.
That's just one thing he prides himself. Like, I'm going to just play this game. I'm not going to complain about the game and just keep it moving.
Yeah.
I mean, Luka's still young.
So he had one in 2014, but it was overturned. So you're absolutely right. You have to have a tech.
I mean, but Luka's still young. So, what's Luka, 23?
23.
23, yeah. So he's still young. I mean, he has a lot of success early. So, a lot of that comes with it, I feel like, too. Like, you're getting spoiled early. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you want things. But he'll be all right. I think, give him a couple of years, he'll be fine.
Let's talk about why, though. The why. Why are you complaining? Do you need this as a competitive edge to get fouled, to get all the calls going your way so that you feel good about your game? See, I've heard Luka's the type of guy, like, he wants to take those long half-court shots, those three-quarter court shots, because he likes to make them and all that. So if he don't get to push it off, he gets upset. Like, he's internalizing things that he's used to doing. So if you're used to getting fouled, used to getting calls, and you're not getting them, it's affecting how you look at your game. When you go home, like, man, I didn't get these calls, I didn't get this. It affected the outcome because I ended up with 28 and I should have had 37. I should have went to the free throw line at least 6 more times. Mm-hmm. And I remember in this play, I got fouled and he didn't call it. And it's like he's using these situations to reflect on his game like, damn, man, these motherfuckers ain't giving me the call. They ain't giving me this, they ain't giving me that. But then again, like you said, we know we foul. Mm-hmm. And we know they missed calls. So what is the point? Is it to harp on crying about every single call when you're already a high-profile superstar? You get all the fucking calls anyway, but you want every fucking call. right? So now it's an expectation for every time you go to the hoop and somebody barely touch you, that's a foul. And I'm a big believer that don't touch my body. Don't touch my flesh. It's a foul. You touch me, it's a foul, right? So I get that. Like, hey, he hit me. But then again, there's the tough side. We just talked about Michael Jordan having to go back, recalibrate, because it's a tougher league. We went away from that shit. So ain't no tough league, ain't no recalibrate. It's all, if you don't give me the foul, I feel like it's fucking up my game. It's a turnover, right? James Harden go in there, he don't get a foul. That's a turnover.
Yep.
That's a turnover. So now I'm looking at the ref like, man, fuck this ref. That's you putting turnovers on my game.
Yes.
And that make you a crybaby.
Like it's like some people just have disadvantages. Yeah. Right? Like you have a disadvantage because of how you play the game, what's your advantage, and we expect you to play through it. And that's the shit I hate from the refs. Right? When they use that, like, yo, I just got fouled. Well, you're much stronger than him. The fuck does that mean? The fuck does that mean? You are supposed to make that? Like that's not like, you know. So like a player like a Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal, DeMarcus Cousins, you know, Greek the Freak,
Dwight.
LeBron, Dwight. Those guys are just so physically gifted that as a referee, you have to tilt it against them, or you're sitting there blowing every single foul.
Call, yeah.
Because like every time Shaq got in the post, you can call a foul because he's so big, I have to foul him just to play regular defense.
Yeah.
So that becomes the thing, like DeMarcus Cousins. So when we sit back and say, yeah, he's playing like a baby, we have to really understand what's going on.
Yep.
Because they're fouling him to try to stop it, and the ref is like, no, you're gonna have to pay through it. I can't just call 40 fouls. And he's like, why? Why can't you? If all 40 are fouls because you're bigger, you're more skilled, and I have to give some room here. Like I've listened to refs who's like, listen, every time Shaq back down, it's a foul.
Yep.
He said, but we can't just blow the whistle every single time. That's a disadvantage to them because they're smaller. He said, so, you know, when, you know, we have players and we say, listen, hold it right here and here. And then Shaq is just, Now he got a whole knee in him. And I'm like, it is not really affecting Shaq. So, but we going to allow it to happen. So, you know, those guys are going to bitch more because they're like, yo, I don't want to hear that I'm stronger. I should have made it. Yeah. Right? I don't want to hear that. That's a cop out. And refs will say that shit.
Go get in the weight room. Go work on your game some more then. Hey.
But the more you work in the weight room, the less you're going to get. Because you expect, like if you guys played one-on-one, right? We already know how this looks, right? Mm-hmm. He's backing you down. Yeah. Think about everything you got to do to keep him off. Hold, grab, this, that, and this.
Extra.
Right?
I'm
doing all everything, anything extra, right?
Yeah.
You're holding on him. And then what can you do? Flop.
Hope that they give it to you.
Going the other way.
I'm hoping.
You drive any little tap, your body's gone.
100%.
Foul again.
Every time.
Right? So that's not a game you want. You don't want to play against a player like that.
Oh no.
Because you're at a disadvantage on both sides of the. You hit him with a little boom. Yep. You're flying. Offensive. Yep. He tries it with you.
He come on down. It's just gonna be the same.
Like AI was the hardest person to guard. Because when he's moving full speed, any touch, his body was gone.
Yes.
So it's like one of those things like, just go, man.
Kevin Martin, too. Kevin Martin was one of those guys. Just can't touch him. Ginobili. Like you talk about Shaq, though. Like Shaq used to run the floor and big man rules, run to the middle of the rim, turn and seal. How the hell can you stop Shaq from doing that without fouling him?
No.
And look, Shaq was never a complainer. No. Think about it. Shaq wasn't no crybaby. He didn't cry to the refs like, hey, y'all supposed to be calling, because he hated going to the free throw line. He didn't want to go to the goddamn free throw line.
Fucking playing that shit.
After a while, I
remember I was holding both arms. Like I grabbed one whole arm, because he did. I tried to take the charge, like I'm trying to take the charge, but he ain't run. So now I got to play defense.
Yes.
I'm just holding one whole muscle, right? And the rep ain't like, rep, call it, shit, call it, like call this. I'm Call it.
Call
like,
it.
It's like shacking that motherfucker like, out loud. It's just over with. God damn.
What Jordan Clarkson also said, though, about LeBron, he's like, look, foul him. Foul him. They can't call foul for him every single time. He's like, we usually just foul the fuck out of him all the time because we know they're not going to give him a call every time. We just foul him.
Yeah, so that's what I said. So the refs, so like when you think about crying, you just got to really think about what is the player really going through. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I got fouled 10 times and you call 8, I'm cool.
Yeah.
But you call 4 and 3, no, I don't got problems.
Well, let's keep this thing moving. Now it's time to go 0 to 100 real quick.
Do you think there's... Yeah.
Don't get me flagged on YouTube. We need some theme music for that one. So let's talk about these Suns real quick. KD's back in full effect. Had multiple 30-point games over the weekend. Been looking solid. Suns are 7-0 with him in their lineup. So what are the chances, 0 to 100, that the Suns are unbeatable moving forward?
Unbeatable, like they won't lose a game?
Not that they won't lose a playoff series.
The concept.
They got to at least lose.
Okay.
They play the Lakers Friday, so they got to lose one. They got to lose one for us.
Man, Lakers losing that game again, man. Lakers ain't trying to move up, man. What's wrong with you?
6 seed.
Oh, 6 seed, okay.
But it's going to be janky.
What are they proving? Like, what are they proving? Like, it seems like they're in tune. So from there, let's just get in the playoffs and get ready for the playoffs. And I think, they can be unbeatable in the playoffs when it comes to winning the series and getting to the chip. But it's still luck, staying healthy.
Yeah. I mean, I got them going to Western Conference Finals. Like you said, they're locked in. So I got them at least getting to the Western Conference Finals for sure.
For sure.
I always look at it from a different perspective, man. Like, what stops them? Not necessarily what's going to keep them rolling. What's going to stop them from rolling? Like, what's going to slow them down? What small discrepancy that someone's going to have to come in and change if I'm a coach and I need to flip the switch on them and make them change their whole dynamic? What's going to slow them down? Is it going to be taking the ball out of KD's hands? Is it going to be neutralizing Book? Is it going to be taking Ayton out of the game? Like, what is going to slow the Suns down that's going to be like, this is how we figured them out? And I think that's the hardest part with playoff basketball nowadays is KD being with the Suns now. It's like, okay, what the hell do you do to stop these niggas?
I mean, I think injury. I think that's the big. I think that's the only thing. Injury.
For them,
I think just for them.
That's why, like, if everyone is fully healthy, everyone. No, there's no injury. We're not going. We're not going to just hurt somebody just to try to prove. The only team that can is probably Lakers.
Yeah.
I still
about
say
the
Golden
Warriors?
State too, though.
Yeah.
I still say the Warriors because I still
Warriors
got
and Wiggins.
I still got to see somebody beat them in 4.
Nuggets, they shouldn't be afraid of that fade.
No.
I'm just asking.
Even though we always say, forget the Nuggets, they've only been beaten by teams that went to the championship or teams that went to the that went to the finals.
Okay.
So it's not like they lost to some mediocre shit. Right. So they, it's low key. If they did make it to the championship, no one can say we're surprised. Because if you look at their record with half the people being gone, great players being gone, they've still been elite. Yeah. They lost to the Suns. They lost to the Suns who went to the championship. They lost to the Lakers who won the championship. So, they...
Yeah. But that would be nasty. Milwaukee, Denver would be nasty. That would be nasty. The NBA don't want that.
Yeah.
Really?
That ratings would be nasty.
That's like that Suns Milwaukee
unless one of them win the MVP.
Yeah. I like that.
I think
even with that.
Even
if they do co-MVP.
It's just
that's a hard
co-MVP
to watch.
If it's already written, it's already in the
script.
Them versus, then what you do is you make co-MVP. And then you run like the real MVP will win this. Then it becomes who's like.
I don't think there's any way that's like nobody's gonna get excited about a Nuggets Bucks
at all.
What you mean?
You gonna be excited about that one?
That's nasty.
It's good basketball.
No, it's not.
gonna
No,
be
it's not.
Great basketball to watch from people who.
Let's be
actually
honest.
enjoy
Both
basketball.
styles aren't really.
Wait. So let's talk about
Like
what
the
makes
styles
good
of play?
basketball. What makes good basketball?
I'm
if
not
that's
talking about good
good?
basketball.
The
on
style
the
of
court.
play. The style of
So
play.
those two styles don't match.
like
When you
watching-
talking about real ball.
It's the style of from like the offense from both teams. It's not really.
So would you rather watch a run and gun?
Yes.
Yes.
So we
We're
getting away
American.
from okay.
We're American, bro.
So we're getting away from.
So is a great football game 3-0?
We watched the Ravens win the championship, the Super Bowl.
Did we like it?
No, we didn't.
I'm a big. I enjoyed that Ravens defense though. That was one of that Ravens Seahawks. Yeah, Rams pass was pretty janky, but from that standpoint, they at least had some personalities
We
on
want
there.
to see. We want to
You
see.
You guys,
we
have, you
wanna
guys
see-
have a fucking great. Yeah,
We want to see
that was
this
fucking-
quarterback had
the
7
worst-
touchdowns.
Yeah.
This one had 6.
Yeah.
The running back, like we want to see, like
high power scoring
Yeah.
and all that. Yeah, I get it.
So here's last thing we're gonna talk about before we end the show for the week. So KD was on his pod, the ETC. Shout out to them in the boardroom, but he was talking about 80s and 90s game versus the game today.
I go back and watch a lot of those 90s film, 80s stuff, and they play physical, but I just think they got away with a lot of flagrant fouls, and I think that's why they call their era more physical than ours, because we play physical here too. It's more space, but guys play physical. We got strong, athletic guys here too. But I watched some of those games. The paint was clear. Nobody was getting touched. It wasn't a lot of help defense, but you did get a lot of flagrant fouls that didn't result into fines or getting kicked out the game. So it just seemed like, it was a little tougher.
So I want to ask y'all, how physical is the league now versus the 80s and 90s?
See, he said the same exact shit I have been saying. 80s basketball is not exactly what they keep thinking. It was. There's no way a man can average 37 points for his career in that. He's a 3-year player, averaging 37 points with no three. That means he's driving down your ass, and you're talking about this is a physical game. As a rookie, 29.
Yep.
He's third in the NBA. A rookie comes in 29, 28 as a rookie. He gets hurt his second year, 37, then 35, and you're telling me you got the best defense going on? Stop. Stop. But that's the cocaine he was on. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. I think everyone's confusing Detroit Pistons 2 years at the end
of the 80s.
Of the 80s. They're trying to use that as all of the 80s.
Right.
Magic Johnson and Showtime was not. It was Showtime for a reason.
Yep.
Yeah.
Showtime. Like they had Norm Nixon and Magic.
Yeah.
One was averaging like 9 assists, one was averaging 11.
Yeah, they was both up there, which is
13 and 11, like what the fuck? Like that's how fast paced they were moving.
Yeah.
Right? So it wasn't this great defense. It was just when we did see fouls, it was hard.
Yeah. Take fouls.
It was take fouls, like no layups,
Yes.
blood in the face type fouls that they highlighted here and there. But for the most part, there wasn't stopping anybody. The success of the guys that you said are great was not being stopped. Who were the great defensive players in that era?
I think the misconception is about the take foul and the bruisers and the characters that were played then. Like you said, the misconception is we thinking that the whole league, the whole 80s was playing defense like this, and really it was take fouls. When you got Fortson, like you talk about Danny Fortson and Adonis Foyle, the real bruisers that took them fouls. When you came through the lane, you knew if you wasn't gonna smash that shit on his ass, he was gonna smash that shit on your ass, right? But we don't have that today. No bruisers, no take fouls. We give layups now. So KD can say, it ain't as tough as it is then because we got some tough guys now. It's like, no, we don't. We don't got no guys that are bruising. We ain't got no guys that are taking fouls. Literally, if you took a foul, they're going to go replay that shit.
Yes.
Replay, that's a flagrant. It's like, why even take the foul now? Why even do a take foul? Because you're going to be kicked out the game.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not like the league. So they didn't make the league soft. They took away intentional, hard fouling that had it was a non-basketball play.
Yeah.
There's nothing basketball related if you're coming in and I'm trying to just smack you all in your head and clothesline you.
It's psychological though. That's the difference. It's a psychological game outside of the game of basketball. When I used to check guys when they come through the lane. Boom. This ain't got nothing to do with no damn basketball. It's everything to do with you ain't bringing your soft ass across this lane, bro. You ain't going to the offensive glass without getting checked. So when I took that foul, boom, it's on me.
Yeah, but that wasn't a flagrant.
Definitely not a flagrant, but it's a take foul, and that was respected in the league then. A take foul across the lane.
But if you're going to a layup and someone just literally clothesline.
Now that's a goddamn flagrant.
And that's what they took out, and that's what they're saying. This league's soft. Like, listen to how delusional. Like now I'm back on this shit again. Now I'm back on these fucking 80 players.
That's why we brought it up.
Now let's try this shit again. Listen to how stupid they sound, right? They've never actually said, if Curry played on our league, we will stop him.
Right.
We will contain him. Yeah. What do they always say? We will put him on his ass.
We'll beat him up.
Well, bitch, that ain't defense.
Real shit.
That is not considered defense. Yeah. If I have to do something outside of the rules, it's not defense.
It's a scare tactic.
Right? Exactly. I'm so scared of you that I gotta illegally hurt you.
Yep.
So you don't come in here anymore. So, hey, while the ref's not looking, I'm gonna just bust out your teeth. Maybe you want to sub yourself out. What the fuck is that?
You're thinking about it though, right?
That is not a basketball play.
It's not. But you thinking about it.
And that's what the league was. We didn't have no basketball play. There was no. That's why when they say it's the most talented, how is it the most talented league when you had this type of game in there?
Real talk.
I have these type of players that can't compete with the rest of the folks. So it's just, hey, listen, I know you're sorry as a motherfucker, right? But just when they come in here, just hit them. Hit them. All right, coach. All right. Lift all day, ain't touch one ball. Just gonna lift all day. When they come in, I'm just gonna use all 6 of my fouls. And this is what, I wonder why you paid the motherfucker $4. You paid him $4, he got on Chuck Taylor's. Of course he's not gonna hurt his ankle, he ain't moving nowhere.
But look, psychologically, when that nigga check in, he's in to foul whoever the fuck we got that's going to the line. So when we see him walk in, I'm like, God damn, I ain't going to the goddamn hoop tonight. Until he get out, he's not gonna clothesline me.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's not but you're trying to say it's a better, you're better. No, that's the problem. Like if you said, you guys are more skilled, you guys are more talented, but we would have neutralized that by just hacking on you and hopefully your softness neutralize you.
Yeah.
But we're not better than you guys.
Tougher. We're tougher.
We're not even tougher.
Not even tougher.
Dirtier?
We're dirtier. We're dirtier.
We're dirtier.
Because and that's where the whole Bill and Beer came in.
Exactly.
And I said, listen, if the argument was that we were better defensively, because you're using defense.
Yep.
Defensively, and then you name the players, and I was like, none of those players made defensive team. None of those guys made defensive team. So that wasn't defense what you're trying to highlight. Bird was a 3-time all-defensive player, but no one says that.
Woo. I don't think motherfuckers even know that.
No, they don't. No. He was a 3-time all-defensive player, but you want to bring up a bunch of thugs. Like I use a bunch of thugs out there fucking it. But like defense for me was someone who's neutralizing me in the realm of like a Draymond, right? Dirty plays here and there, no mind, right? Yeah. So Dennis Rodman, his tactics, but he played defense.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Great. Right? That's great. Yeah. Gary Payton, great.
Yep.
Joe Dumars, great.
Yep.
Like so when you talk about the Detroit Pistons, Dumars and Isaiah Thomas didn't do that. It was just the other people who didn't know how to play basketball.
Yep.
Right? So Vrejao, I used to hate Vrejao.
Oh, goodness.
Right? Mm-hmm. He wasn't a dirty player. He was just great at defense. I had to change my game when he came in.
Yep.
He wasn't a dirty player. Defense.
Yep.
If I drive, he's not gonna foul. He's gonna try to take a charge. He's gonna beat her. He's like, so now I just can't lift off the ground knowing that he's gonna try to take charges, right? Ben Wallace, defense. Rasheed, defense. Tayshaun Prince, defense. That was the real, they should be glorified
Absolutely.
as bad boys defense because they played defense under the rules.
Gotcha.
Right? So how the 80s and 90s complain about, well, y'all get the carry now. Right? That's a great complaint. Because y'all didn't get to do that. Right? That's a great complaint, right? That you guys, offenses enhance because they allow you to palm the ball a little bit more than we did. Then I can say, okay, y'all have a great complaint on that one. You know what I mean? Okay. Like there's, me getting to do a little bit more with the ball gives me more creativity and more, you know what I mean? I got more bop now that I can do some little hesitation versus y'all. So they can say, well, the only reason that you guys are more skilled is because they allowed a little bit more room to manipulate the ball. Then it's like, I can't even fight that because that's a true assessment. Right? But when you're talking about defense, you have to be careful with these 80s, man. They drugged up, man. They drugged up, bro. I'm just saying, it was a wild time. Everyone was doing it. Like you got David Stern. This is some hilarious shit. David Stern went on a talk show one year. Right? He did go on a talk show one year when they were talking about all the 80s drugs, and he's basically said his league is drug-free, and then they put in the drug rule. They put in drug testing, right? So you can
no drugs here.
But it was just what the world was going through at the time. And I don't like when you penalize eras when it was part of it. Like just like with Barry Bonds, right? And what was going on. If the whole league as a whole was on roids, the decades before that, it was on a thing called greenies, which was leaning out, right? And this era of steroids and the pitchers on it, the outfielders on it, the hitters on it, then it's all fucking fair.
Yeah. I don't mind it if everybody's on. I'm going to be real.
Yeah.
Right?
That was probably my favorite time watching baseball. So
That's the greatest time ever.
Right? So I'm not, if everyone is on it, right? If everyone's doing it, someone's trying it here, it's not like this one person is doing something that the rest of the league doesn't have access to. Everyone has access to it, just everyone's not getting caught. Don't penalize just this one person, but the NBA has a better ruling with that.
Yeah.
So we understand what I mean when I say this, that the NBA understands greatness and they're not going to jeopardize their greatness. When y'all hear these random drug testing, right? We hear random drug testing. And, he had 72 drug testing.
Yeah.
He had 68 drug testing. They're not looking for what we think is drugs. What they're doing is they're taking blood. Like, drug testing is urine peeing, and they're taking blood sample. What they want to know is when these guys are performing at this level, what's going in their body.
Absolutely.
That's all that is, right? They're doing research on the elite. The reason is 10, 15 years from now, when the research is done, they can probably try to mimic the behavior.
Yes.
Giving supplements to try to boost up whatever they're finding.
Wow.
Because I can tell you this, there was years where when they're testing all these players, right? They're testing all these players. That's why you don't hear drugs issues in the NBA. Because what they're doing is when they're doing these tests, this won't count against you, this and this. What they're doing is they're looking at everything that's in the system, right? All right, we have Tim Duncan, we have Dirt, and we have Kobe, Bron, right? Those results, this is what our stars is on. This is what our stars is doing, and we don't see nothing. Let it go.
100%.
Let it go. You think that they allowing weed because a bunch of fucking bench players smoke weed? No. You crazy as shit.
No. Come on now.
You think it's because a bunch of bench players are smoking weed? No, they're saying, okay, most of our elite is playing. Let's see what their output is. Okay, their output is not hurting this game. Okay.
Gil, that's a genius take because you look at performance, right? And the analysis and research behind that 71 performance, right? He scored 71, Kobe 81. We got to test him. Yeah. Not necessarily see what he's on, but where his blood levels, his endorphins, all of this adrenaline, how is it happening after the game? Like, where is his levels after the game? Ironically, you can't do it before the game because you can't predict that he's going to score that, right? So, like you said, over the years, if they got a collection of data of all these performances and then those results come after that, it's like, damn, we know Kobe, when he had 81, his endorphin levels was at the highest. Then you got Book 70. Then you got the 71 from Donovan. Then you got the 60 from Dame. Everyone got tested. Like you said, everyone got tested after. So it's not about weed or even performance-enhancing drugs. It's like, where were these guys' blood levels when they were performing at the
Man, you look silly as shit if you the NBA and motherfucker just scored 70 and then you test them and then it shows up positive or something. That fucks your image up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's because at the end of the day, let's say he had weed on him anyway. That looks stupid in the headline. Yeah. Because no weed smoker's gonna believe this. Like, damn, that motherfucker that good. That motherfucker got him 70 on weed. Ah, damn. How did he do that? How did he do that? You know, so it's one of those things where when you hear it, it's really more of a future thing where they can probably try to figure out how they can, you know, we want more of this shit because we're seeing shit happen and we're like, you know, damn, 5 people scoring 30. What the fuck? 5 people scoring 30, 6 people 30. This is the first time in history. Yeah, data from 10, 15 years ago. Were you in the league when they was putting things on you? Like before the game? And they were just trying to test your blood and your, because I remember there was a group that came on, they put shit on my ankles, right? And they wanted to see, your output. And it was like, yeah, you know, the way your body, your resting levels, you're not going to play well today. Your body has recovered. You're only at a 20%.
Wow.
But I got offended. Because one, don't tell me where my body's at.
Exactly.
Right? You're just trying, you're fucking with me. Did you come, who sent you, bitch? Right? I'm trying, who sent you? Right? Like, you know, you know, so it's one of those things where you're saying my body's not 100%, that we can predict injuries. It was like some whole real shit. And it scared the fuck out of me where I had to really, like I didn't want to go into the game thinking, oh, you only at 20%. And I said, hey, man, did you test the motherfucker that's in there in this defense? That motherfucker defense sorry as shit. I'm about to score 40 like I've done every single time.
Every single time.
Had 40.
So you definitely got tested after that 60.
No.
No? Wow. What about the 50 run you was going on? No?
It wasn't that in, they probably started that like 4 or 5 years ago, man.
Oh, okay.
They probably started that about 4 or 5 years ago when they were, man, the NBA is different than the NFL. NFL, you know, they're more about the NFL.
The brand.
The NFL itself, right? And they think that their league can withstand key players. Right? The NBA don't have that luxury, right? So you're more protective. That's why I said, you know, last show, when was the last time you heard someone being suspended for weed? I'm not putting this in my product. Yeah. Right? Hey, listen, you got caught weed, fucker. You have an ankle injury. You have an ankle injury for the next 5 games. You have an ankle injury next 5 games. I'm not telling the world that, you know, my product is high as shit. No, he got an injury to his ankle for 5 fucking games. And that's how we're gonna do it. Like,
it's a better time.
Right? You protect it's a brand.
Yeah.
Like, even, let's say I own this brand. This is my team. And you tell me he did what? All right, I'll handle this. And I'm not gonna let you just say, oh, hey, yeah, Lakers star, but wait, hold on, you work for me.
Yeah.
You work for me, goddammit. You're not just gonna put this news out there.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's
just,
When you talk about look ahead of the future, Gil, we got to talk about next week. Show's going live, 11:30. That's a segue for that ass. 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern.
Tuesday live. So I got to be on fucking
What
time.
Norman-
You have to be on time, Gil.
gotta
You
be
can't
on
roll in about 11:35 like you normally do. I'm gonna get to makeup earlier too.
I'm the last one here, and I live here.
Right upstairs.
I admire the fact that you are so comfortable. All these fucking people being in your house all the time. You don't even be here sometimes.
No, I be gone.
know.
Like I don't think I'm ever here when the first person comes.
Some shit don't come up missing ever because we got honest people on this staff. But appreciate you, Brandon. Appreciate you,
Yes,
Rashad.
sir. Yes, sir.
Obviously, Gil's Arena, presented by Underdog Fantasy. Whoa, whoa. We'll be back Tuesday live, 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 Eastern.